welcome to today's broadcast. This is Matthias 76, and together we are Decoding the Deception. Before we move on entirely from the California fires, there is one more thing we would be remiss not to cover there in the smoldering embers, the smoke and mist. We see some sleight of hand taking place, and it needs to be called out for what it is. You see, the large utility company in California, PG&E, is taking blame for starting these fires. That is suspect on a number of levels, but we will take it at face value for now. PG&E is saying, our bad. Forget not that PG&E is controlled by, has heavy representation on their board from the Rothschilds. Now, my suspicion meter pegs up to about a 7 or 8 out of 10 every time I just see the name Rothschilds being involved with anything. So we have the victims of this accidental fire, and they're going to have to be compensated. And since PG&E is taking responsibility for the fire, it will be PG&E that has to compensate those victims. Billions of dollars. Who knows how much? Enter California Senate Bill 901 that was passed this past summer. California Senate Bill 901 dealt with the fires that took place last year, but it will be extended, mark my word, to cover these fires as well. California Senate Bill 901 says that the California customers of PG&E, including those victims of that accidental fire, they have to, through increased rates for their utilities, pay into a fund that reimburses PG&E for having to pay the victims of the accidental fire. Follow that logic. The victims are paying increased rates along with the other people who weren't victims but could have been. They are having to pay increased rates to offset PG&E compensating the victims for their loss. Through all of this, PG&E is indemnified. That means they bear no loss, very little loss in comparison to what they could have had if they had to foot the bill all on their own. Those who are the victims get to pay their own restitution. California Senate Bill 901, and whatever they will change that name to be when it gets updated to include this fire. So we've got, in this scenario, PG&E, and we've got the victims of the accidental fire. PG&E was on the hot seat, was going to have to repay them, but that will shift to the victims of the accidental fire getting roasted just a little bit more because they have to foot the bill for PG&E's malfeasance. It just doesn't seem fair. Everyone has heard of a Ponzi scheme. I think we've come across something else here. Instead of a Ponzi scheme, we have a Patsy scheme. And even more, we have an indemnified Patsy, an indemnified Patsy scheme. In this scenario, there has to be someone to blame. That provides closure, whatever that is. Someone has to pay, and it's going to be PG&E, but not really. In reality, it's going to be the victims of the fire and those who could have been victims. They're the ones who really have to pay. The innocent pay, and the guilty get off scot-free. It is an indemnified Patsy scheme, a new creation rising out of the smoldering ashes like a phoenix, rising out of the ashes of that tragedy and travesty in California. That concludes our broadcast for today. We invite you to visit our webpage. We don't want to let the social media technocrats keep us apart. YouTube can shut us down at any time. We have a plan to keep in touch. We need your email address to make that work. We promise We will not email you for any other purpose. In order to make this broadcast work, we need your support. You can go to our support page on our website, or you can use the links below to either Patreon or PayPal. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give us a like, and if you like it, please consider sharing this video with someone else. We would love it if you would subscribe, and if you subscribe, make sure and click that bell so that you're notified when we put out new videos. We love to hear from you, so down below in the comments section, let us know what you think. This is Matthias 76. Together, we are decoding the deception. God bless and have a great day.